Panda diplomacy is coming to an end.
An update on the chemical fire in Houston. Is the air safe?
Veterans Day discounts start tomorrow. Find out where veterans can get those deals.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining ntTV News at Noon. I'm April Pierdon.
And I'm Lillian Kosh.
Palestinians continue to suffer in the Gaza Strip, describing the harsh reality of Gaza City on Wednesday, with constant airstrikes and no water. Here in the United States, people are taking a stance. Protests are popping up in support of both sides as hate crimes incidents have communities on edge. Gloria Pasmino has more.
Chants cut through New York City's already noisy streets. Pro-Palestinian protesters taking their messages from City Hall, marching across the Brooklyn Bridge, bringing traffic to a screeching halt. Across the city, an Israeli restaurant owner says some of his pro-Palestinian employees have walked off the job because of his support for Israel. Now, people in the community are lining up to show their support.
It's really reassuring because for a lot of Jews right now, New York feels like a very dangerous, very dangerous place. So this shows their support. There's love still in the world.
In Texas, the owner of an Israeli restaurant says a burglar cut a hole in the roof of her business and damaged prayer books inside. The owner says she's received several threats recently, and police advised her to remove the Israeli flag from the front of her business.
I just don't bend that easily.
In California, authorities are giving new details on injuries sustained by a Jewish man who died from a head injury following an interaction with a pro-Palestinian demonstrator.
The autopsy demonstrated non-lethal injuries to the left side of Mr. Kessler's face. Additional injuries included injury to the back of the head.
What exactly transpired prior to Mr. Kessler falling backward isn't crystal clear right now. No arrests have been made related to this incident.
In New York, I'm Gloria Pasmino.
UNT is set to gain millions of dollars as Texans give the thumbs up for Proposition 5. Texas voters passed Prop 5 after Tuesday's election. It is called the Texas University Fund. The fund will provide research funding for the University of North Texas, Texas State University, the University of Houston, and Texas Tech University. For almost 150 years, only two schools benefited from a permanent university fund program, University of Texas and Texas A&M. The fund now allows other public universities to get a share of the money. The amendment will be require the legislator to approve the funding every 2 years.
Tuesday, the Wharton Police Department discovered 100 kilos of cocaine worth an estimated value of $10 million. The discovery was made as part of a joint drug interdiction with Wharton Police and Fayette County Sheriff's Office. A big shout out to Colt, the German Shepherd, who sniffed out the drugs with his partner, Sergeant Thurman. You can see him now with proudly posing next to his discovery.
According to the Council of Criminal Justice, Dallas has seen a 73% increase in shoplifting this year alone. According to the analysis of 25 major cities, Dallas ranked number 2 with the highest levels of shoplifting, just behind Los Angeles. DFW retailers are fighting back against the theft by locking up simple personal items like underwear and razors, while also lining aisles with security cameras in hopes of deterring the thieves.
If you've gone out today, you might have found yourself in some sticky and yucky weather.
Yeah, Texas is really turning down the temps and bringing some showers up to North Texas, but blessing us with some perfect Christmas movie night weather.
Yes, and our weather anchor Piper Gifford is here to shed light on what we should expect for the next few days. Piper?
Thanks, guys. Well, it's not too cold outside, but it is raining, and it's expected to rain pretty much all throughout the day. Now, it isn't huge thunderstorms, but it is those sprinkly weather, so you may want to bring an umbrella with you. If you take a look, our current temperature is 57 degrees, and it feels like 57 as well. Our wind speed is sitting at a high 14 miles per hour. If you take a look at tonight's temperatures, it is going to be raining. We do have a higher chance of rain tonight, so be on the lookout for that. Our temperature's sitting at 55 degrees. It's going to feel like 54, so it'll get a little bit cooler. Our wind speed is still kind of staying up there a little bit at 8 miles per hour. If we take a look at tomorrow's conditions, we're getting rid of that rain, but it is still going to be cloudy outside. The temperature is going to be 64 degrees, feeling like 61, and our wind speed's going to be back up there at 15 miles an hour. That's it for now. I'll tell you what's going on later this weekend and later next week, but for now, let's get back to the desk.
Thanks, Piper. Well, finally, some lights, camera, and action. The longest union actors strike has finally come to an end with a tentative deal being reached. CNN's John Lorenk has the details.
The 118-day soap opera in Hollywood appears to be getting ready to exit stage left.
It's a seminal deal, and it's just an amazing time for our union. It really is.
The SAG-AFTRA strike ended at 12:01 Thursday morning, according to union officials, who said in a statement the tentative agreement will, quote, enable SAG-AFTRA members from every category to build sustainable careers.
There's a lot of improvements on wage negotiations. One of the things that actors have been pushing for is to ensure that they are going to get paid out on streaming residuals.
The actors walked off the set July 14th with numerous complaints toward the Hollywood brass, including the use of artificial intelligence.
That has been the big sticking point for actors over the past few weeks. They wanted to ensure that protections for their actors were built into the contract.
Although some are already celebrating the end of the strike, a typical Hollywood happy ending isn't secured yet. The tentative deal still needs to be ratified before it becomes official. But assuming the pact gets the green light,
I would expect production to resume for your favorite films and series in January, and things that were pushed into the first quarter of 2024, those things might still air, but we're looking at a lot of things returning in the second quarter of the year.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Coming up next, a massive chemical plant fire near Houston forced people to evacuate. Find out more after the break.
And find out why pandas are leaving the United States. Stay with us.
The do's and don'ts of the Pole Rec Center. See that man over there? Please do not hog weights. Instead, do this. Another important part is having an attentive spotter. See, here is an example of a non-attentive spotter. Instead, do this. Now we head to the track, which should be pretty easy, just it's important to pay attention to the way the track goes. Remember to wipe down the equipment after you're done using it. The towels are provided by the gym, so it's pretty easy to wipe down the equipment when you are done. Thank you for using the Pole Recreation Center.
All right, look up here. 1, 2, 3.
Mom, Dad, I got it.
You're right, Mom. I have.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
A chemical plant explosion outside of Houston has been contained. The explosion erupted yesterday morning and left behind a large fire and a giant cloud of smoke. The petroleum plant is located in San Jacinto County, just 60 miles outside of Houston. One employee has been injured, and residents were urged to shut off their HVAC systems for hours. The fire has now been contained and is continuing to be monitored. Officials say the chemicals produced in the factory are used to make glue and paint remover. The Polk County Emergency Management Office says the chemicals from the plant are toxic and may cause eye and skin irritation.
A magnitude 5.3 earthquake shook El Paso here early Wednesday morning, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. The West Texas earthquake is one of the strongest to hit Texas in recent years and has triggered several aftershock quakes, registering between 2.5 and 3.4. There were no immediate reports of damage or injuries, but Texans took to social media to share that they were rattled awake in the early morning.
Well, we might not have felt the earth shake, but we are definitely feeling that Texas winter blowing through.
Yes, but is the chilly air here to stay? Piper, what does Texas have in store for us this week?
Well, April, if you take a look behind me, it feels pretty great outside. I know it's still on the chillier side, but we're not sitting up in those 80-degree temperatures. We are in those upper 50 degrees, lower 60s. If you take a look around me, Denver sitting at 57 degrees, Decatur 56, still around those upper 55s, lower 60s all around. Let's take a look at all of Texas. We're kind of spread out more here. In Amarillo, it's 48 degrees. And if you take a look in Austin, they're sitting at 75 degrees. And Houston down here is still at that 80-degree mark. Now, I'm kind of wishing that I was feeling those temperatures, but we got that rainy weather. Now let's take a look at our 7-day forecast and see if that rain is going to stay. Now, we only see 2 days with a chance of rain, Monday and Tuesday, but I don't see any sunny skies for the next 7 days. All of our temps are sitting around the mid-60s. Our lower air temps are in the high 40s and low 50s. That's it for weather. Let's go back to the desk.
Thanks, Piper. Well, this Saturday is Veterans Day. It is a day to pay tribute to troops who have served or are actively serving in the military. Many businesses are giving out some special deals for this special day, and some of them even start on Friday. On Friday until noon, veterans get a free Grand Slam breakfast at Denny's. On Saturday, vets can get in on a free donut at Dunkin', free coffee and donut at Krispy Kreme, or a free breakfast combo at Wendy's. Starbucks also has free hot or iced coffee, and IHOP has free pancakes. If you know a veteran, don't forget to thank them for their service and remind them of all the deals happening this weekend.
After half a century, Washington, D.C.'s beloved pandas are headed back to China. The 3 pandas were long part of a long-time program between the U.S. and China, often referred to as panda diplomacy. The departure is an unfortunate side effect of the growing tensions between the 2 world superpowers. Laura Aguirre has more.
There's nothing like seeing them in person.
But now, the tumbling, crowd-pleasing, bamboo-eating giant pandas at the National Zoo will be seen no more. In recent weeks, visitors have been flocking to D.C. to say goodbye.
Thought it was a good thing to take them out of school for.
You get just so attached to them and so invested in them, but I'm sure they're going to have a good life overseas.
Wednesday morning, the bear trio was carefully transported to a waiting FedEx plane for a 19-hour flight back to China. It's a program first started in 1972 during the Richard Nixon presidency, when 2 pandas were gifted to the States by China's then chairman as a symbol of improving diplomatic relations. But in recent years, friction points have escalated over issues like human rights, trade, Chinese spy balloons over the U.S., and Beijing's tightening embrace with Moscow. Moscow Zoo received a new pair of pandas from China in 2019, with both leaders side by side for the bear's public debut. Now only 4 Chinese pandas remain in the U.S. at the Atlanta Zoo. Their contract expires next year, and no word from China on any extension. which could bring what's been known as panda diplomacy to an end. The National Zoo is calling Wednesday's departure a hiatus, and panda fans are hopeful their beloved bears will one day come back.
Hopefully we get new ones, a new family to fall in love with too.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
After the break, find out how you can join in the fun and celebrate Diwali this year here at UNT.
And to continue the fun, UNT CoLab will be hosting a market this weekend. We'll be right back.
Hey Alex, this guy on the internet says he wants to give me money.
That sounds suspicious.
What do you mean?
Typically, strangers who promise you money on the internet have their own best interest in mind. They often use bounce checks, which will disappear shortly after depositing, but not before they've asked for some money in return.
So he doesn't really want to spoil me?
No.
Well, then what should I do?
The best way to handle it is to block and report the suspicious message, or even consult local law enforcement if you've already fallen victim.
So I guess we aren't going to Key West for spring break.
No.
Are you behind on your credit hours? Got more time on your hands this winter? Then you need to sign up for winter sessions. Do not delay, sign up today. Visit registration.unt.edu/winter session for more information or see your advisor.
April, I don't know if you can hear it over there, but my stomach is absolutely rumbling. I'm starving.
Well, I don't hear it yet, but I think our reporter Meredith Billings might have a solution for you and anyone else who is in need of some really good food.
Meredith, I heard you might know where I can find myself a yummy lunch. What's going on campus?
Yes, I do, Lillian. If you are one of the many students who celebrates Diwali, Kitchen West is the place to be today. They are offering an all-you-can-eat special menu with items such as chicken biryani, butter chicken, veg pulao, and so much more. Access can be bought for $7 or with the right student meal plan until 2 p.m. today. Now, everything looked and smelled so delicious I couldn't resist getting my own plate. I'm going to go dig in and hope to see you join me. But that's all for here. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Meredith. Well, there are turkey trots and reindeer runs, but if you are planning on joining in on the fun run this holiday season, health experts say you need to prepare now to avoid injury later. CNN's Mandy Gaither has the story.
'Tis the season for themed races, but you could trot your way toward an injury if you don't train properly.
Just going literally from the couch to the 5K is not a really good idea.
Orthopedic surgeon Timothy Miller with the Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center says not preparing your body can lead to injuries like muscle strains, tendinitis, IT band syndrome, even stress fractures from overuse.
You put a lot of additional stresses on your body when you do that. And not just on the musculoskeletal system where we think about it mostly, but also on the cardiovascular system as well.
Miller says if you're just starting to run, see a doctor to make sure you're healthy enough to take on long distances. If everything checks out health-wise, he says to start slow, training at least a month out for a 5K, building up mileage gradually. He also suggests varying the terrain.
So running on hard surfaces, for example, all the time, like hard sidewalks, hard pavement, can put a lot of additional stress on your body from what we call ground reaction forces, leading to injuries.
Have proper footwear that's supportive and fits well. Miller says to go up a half or full size in your running shoe to accommodate foot swelling. And he recommends breaking in new shoes before a race.
That means training them in them for at least a week or two to make sure you're comfortable with their weight they're going to feel on your feet.
Miller advises fueling your body, and even when it's colder outside, hydration is still critical. For Health Minute, I'm Andy Gaither.
The UNT CoLab will be hosting a market in collaboration with the College of Visual Arts and Design this Saturday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Come on down to the square and support the UNT Metalsmithing Club. And while you're there, head next door and check out the Every Which Way Market kicking off at 3 p.m. They'll be celebrating unique crafts from local creators. Well, from the canvas to the hardwood, UNT students always seem to be active on campus doing the things they love.
No kidding. Speaking of the hardwood, our UNT basketball teams have been killing it on the court.
Yes, they have. And I bet our sports anchor, Jalen Tucker, can tell us a bit more about our banging basketball teams. Jalen?
Thanks, ladies. You're right. Our Mean Green basketball team is off to a good start this season, but more on that after the break.
What's wrong? Are you stuck in your paper?
Pretty much. I haven't written anything in like an hour.
Why don't you check out the Writing Center at UNT?
Well, how do I meet up with them?
All you have to do to make an appointment is visit the Writing Center's website and either call the number or email writingcenter@unt.edu. The appointment is 30 minutes long, and the trained tutors will be able to help with brainstorming, correcting grammar, ensuring clarity, and a wide range of services. They also do walk-in appointments.
That sounds awesome. I'm gonna check them out.
So, when's this paper due?
30 minutes.
For more information, visit the UNT Writing Center's website.
Yeah, it's 6 pages.
There's no harm in wanting to have fun while in college, but it's easy to lose track of how much you've had. Apps like Drink Control and Alkadroid can help keep track of your consumption and blood alcohol levels. If you or someone else does drink too much, the signs of alcohol poisoning are as follows: pale skin, vomiting, confusion, low body temperatures, irregular breathing, blacking out, and is hard to wake up or cannot be woken up.
Dude, are you okay? Hey, what's wrong? Wake up.
It's an exciting time of year, but it's important to be responsible. If you suspect someone is suffering from alcohol poisoning, get help immediately. You will not get in trouble for seeking help if you are underage. For more info and resources, go to UNT's Division of Student Affairs.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Let's get started. This is a motor vehicle.
This is the blinker mechanism. To use it, push it up for the right blinker and down to go left. You're welcome. It was easy.
Good afternoon, ntTV. As you guys know, the Cowboys headed on the road and played against the Philadelphia Eagles this past Sunday. As the game was tight and the Cowboys was leading going into the second half of the game, Dak Prescott passed for 375 yards and Jalen Hurts for the Eagles passed for 207 yards in that game. The Cowboys ended up with a loss against the Eagles, with the final score being 23-28. Now, I know your fans are hurt, but the Cowboys are returning home to face this Sunday against the New York Giants on Fox at 3:25 p.m. Let's go, Cowboys. Now, you guys know I gotta talk about the Mean Green football team who played against UTSA this past Saturday at Daku Stadium. Your Eagles had a second half rally against the Roadrunners, with the junior Chandler Rogers passing for 270 yards and the junior running back Io Adehi rushing for 105 yards. Your Mean Green shut down the Roadrunners at the start of the second half, and they at least scored 2 touchdowns going in the fourth quarter. But it wasn't enough, with the final score being 29-37. The Eagles are 1-4 in conference play, with another tough matchup just down the road against our rival SMU Mustangs. Kickoff is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. in Dallas. Let's support our Mean Green. Now, it's our favorite time of the year. You guys know it. It's basketball season. Both your men and women debuted at the Super Pit this week. On Monday, your ladies set a school scoring record against UNT Dallas, with the final score being 117-42. Having 5 Mean Green players score double digits and our defense being the key factor in the game. Your ladies are starting off strong, but I can't forget about our boys. Your Mean Green played the following night against a strong team, Northern Iowa, and your boys want to give the Eagles fans a show, with a free throw keeping the Mean Green in the game, with regulation ending with the score 68-68 and had to go into overtime. Your Eagles won the tip-off, scored in the first possession, and they never looked back. The final score was 83-77, with one of the most thrilling season home openers in recent memory, and Ross Hodges' first victory as the head coach. Your Mean Green are back in action this week at home. Your ladies play tonight at 6:30 against Gremlin State, and your boys play this Saturday at 7 p.m. against Omaha. So be loud for your Eagles. That's all I have for sports. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Jalen. Well, April, do you have a travel bucket list?
You know, Lillian, I really do enjoy traveling, but now that you've mentioned it, I don't really have like a travel list that I could like come up with at the top of my head. Yeah, I think I need one.
Well, National Geographic has released their official cool list of places to travel in 2024, so maybe you can put some of these locations on your bucket list.
Yes, while most of the list is for places in Europe, the United States did make the cut in a few states. New York was a hot spot with recommendations for New York City, Lake Placid, and Niagara Falls, while Texas was recommended for several great spots to catch next year's solar eclipse. Also making the cool list for the U.S., Miami, and Florida.
If you are looking to grab your passport, National Geographic recommends the ruins of Pompeii, the mountains of Albania, Lima, Peru, and Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. Well, you know what I'll be doing for the next few years.
Traveling for sure.
No, I'll be saving up to travel.
You know, that's actually a really great idea. I need to save up.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you so much for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again tonight at 6 here on North Texas Television.